Now, although most of our favorite horror villains hail from Earth, including Mike Myers, Ghostface, Freddy to an extent, most on the other hand do not. Some hail from an alternate reality or dimension, so today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scariest creatures from another dimension. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at 5, Candyman. To quote the Candyman himself, they will say that I have shed innocent blood. What's blood for if not for shedding? Be my victim. Daniel Robert Daly, also known as the Candyman, is the main antagonist of the 1992 slasher film of the same name. He is also based off of the short story The Forbidden from the anthology books Book of Blood, written by Clive Barker. Now, although he is a brutal killer with a vengeful spirit, Candyman had quite the tragic past compared to most horror movie villains, though saying that he is just as dangerous and just as deadly as any other horror movie icon. He is typically portrayed in the form of a lean and really tall African American man around 6'5", dwarfing over the film's protagonist. His attire consists of a large brown fur trench coat, a white cravat around his neck, grey pants, a pair of polished leather shoes, and a bloody hook in the place of his right hand. Now, not too many of his powers have been displayed throughout the movies, but it is well known that he is immortal because he has been around for centuries. He has the ability to teleport at fast speeds, as well as phasing through walls. He has superhuman strength and regenerative capabilities. He has also shown some form of telekinesis, along with the ability to fly or levitate. The way to summon Candyman is by saying his name 3 times into a mirror, which is likely the last thing you'll do before you die. R.I.P. Coming in at number 4, the Babadook. To quote Mr. Babadook, if it's in the word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. Chilling. Mr. Babadook, or simply known as the Babadook, he is the main antagonist of the 2014 Australian horror movie of the same name. It most generally appears as a towering, shadowy boogeyman wearing a black coat and a hat, with long claw-like hands and a pale, frightening face. It will haunt whomever reads its poem and hides inside a pop-up book that mysteriously appears in a random home at any given time. The Babadook is considered to be the embodiment of grief, denial, anger, fear, bargaining, acceptance. Thanks to some brilliant special effects, the monster, aside from being a gay icon, has become one of the most beloved yet feared creatures in horror history. Now, when the book is read, it will summon Mr. Babadook to haunt and terrorize the victims. It appears to predict the actions that hosts of the Babadook will take. It seems to be of limited indestructibility. When torn apart, it reappeared taped together, but fails to return from being burnt. I personally have all of my fingers crossed for a sequel, or a Babadook Pennywise crossover. Coming in at 3, the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon, also known as the Monster, is the main antagonistic force in the TV show Stranger Things. It is a predatory humanoid creature that entered Hawkins, Indiana in November 1983. The creature originated from the parallel dimension known as the Upside Down, and when Eleven made interdimensional contact with it, a gate between dimensions opened up, releasing the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon is a tall and thin humanoid creature with elongated limbs. Its head lacks facial features, that is, until it unfurls the flesh like a flower to reveal petals lined with many sharp teeth, and a large open mouth. The physical presence of the Demogorgon is often preceded by the creature's guttural growls and shrieks, alongside all the lights in the area flickering on and off. The creature possesses several unique abilities, including interdimensional travel, strength, telekinesis, blood detection, regenerative healing, and durability. Now, this creature passed through, terrorizing Hawkins for a week, abducting various residents in the process, and taking them back to the Upside Down, usually killing them. Coming in at number 2, Pennywise. It, also commonly referred to as Pennywise, is an ancient alien/eldritch monster and the title character of Stephen King's novel of the same name, It. Pennywise is a shape-shifting creature known as the Glamour, who is billions of years old. Now, although it did live on Earth for many years, Pennywise originated in a void/dimension outside the regions of space known as the Macroverse. Its real name and species are called Deadlights, however few know this fact, which is why it is referred to as It, or Pennywise. Its original form is that of a female spider, and it lives deep below the fictional town of Derry, Maine. It has the ability to morph into any other person, animal, or object. This gives Pennywise the ability to transform into a target's loved one or their worst psychological fear. However, like its name suggests, its favourite and most common form is that of a circus performer named Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Its real name is unknown, however in the novel it is referred to several times by the name Robert Bob Gray. This may actually be an allusion to real-life child cannibal Albert Fish, who often referred to himself as Robert Gray. Now, Pennywise's primary goal is to feed on humans, particularly children, because according to the creature, children taste the best, not to mention frightened flesh tastes better, and it uses fear to salt the meat. Love that. And finally, coming in at number 1, Cenobites. The Cenobites are extra-dimensional beings who hail from the works of Clive Barker, including the Hellbound Heart and the 9 Hellraiser movies. They can reach Earth's reality only through a schism in time and space, which is opened and closed using certain unearthly artifacts, the most common being a puzzle box, also known as the Lament configuration. Now, they vary in numbers, appearance, and motivations depending on the medium they appear in, but to quote Clive Barker in the Hellbound Heart, when then was he so distressed to set eyes upon them? Was it the scars that covered every inch of their bodies, the flesh cosmetically punctured and sliced and infibulated, then dusted down with ash? Was it the smell of vanilla they brought with them, the sweetness of which did little to disguise the stench beneath? Or was it that as the light grew and he scanned them more closely, he saw nothing of joy or even humanity? In their maimed faces, only desperation and an appetite that made his bowels ache to be voided. All of the Cenobites have horrific mutilations and wear fetishistic black leather clothing that often resembles religious vestments. These creatures escort their victims into a horrific dimension of eternal pain, which is utterly disturbing, and depending on who you are and what you've done, they can offer either pleasure or pain, but mostly pain. The Cenobites dimension is depicted as a massive labyrinth resembling M.C. Escher's relativity lithography, with Leviathan levitating above its center. Freaky stuff. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any creatures that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 scary SCP monsters that are actually good. Damien Staplecamp said, "You have to love guys who tell women over the internet to show some skin. Her dad watches these." My dad does watch these, and he'll tell me the comments. He always does. Vincent Maleb said, "Please Lucy, the queen and mother of all SCP, free these children of yours." I'll do it when I decide. Not yet, but the time is coming. We're on the brink of war. Benedict JJ said, "Are you also a friendly SCP?" The furthest thing from it. Balzette said, "That shoulder just got this vid demonetized." That vid was monetized, even though my shoulder was all the way out. 2 shoulders next time. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later. M.C. Escher's relativity lithography. The Cenobites dimension is depicted as a massive labyrinth resembling M.C. Escher's relativity lithography.